French group of the FWBO has been meeting for 4 years and has held events in Paris 3 times since 1995. Varadakini plans to move there permanently in September to establish the first FWBO center in France.
I went to see Bante about 2 years ago and I asked him, Bante, how can I participate in what you've created? How can I help the movement? And he said, well, it's obvious. You're French and the Dharma is not in France. He also added, and I would very much like to see the Dharma in France before I die.
Mais ça, on peut dire que c'est vraiment le niveau de base.
Well, once the decision was made, I thought about, yes, how to best prepare. Again, I asked Bante, and he said it very succinctly. He said, deepen your understanding of the Dharma, deepen your meditation practice, gather the Sangha around you and go as a community. That's how I remembered it. So in fact, he said Buddha, Dharma, Sangha.
Il offre ça, est-ce que je peux en prendre un?
And now, well, I have cleared all the decks of all the other commitment and can say that the center of my practice is that of studying the Dharma. Study doesn't even seem to be describing what is happening. I put myself in contact with the Dharma and I let the Dharma transform me. So it doesn't feel like I'm acquiring knowledge. It just feels like I am, yes, putting myself under the reign of the Dharma, and it is affecting everything else.
Pour satisfaire des tempéraments différents, des époques différentes.
Sangashri is also centrally involved with developing activities in Paris.
I came to be involved with the French group because of my connection with France. I used to live in France and I speak fluent French, so for both those reasons I could be useful in the project, and I was also very interested in seeing the Dharma be established, the FWBO established in France. So one of my main functions in the French group is to organise and coordinate the translations, and at the moment we've got about 8 texts at different stages of the translation process. The texts that we're translating are all Bante's texts. Traditional Dharma texts exist in French, you can buy them in bookshops, but what we need obviously for our activities here are texts which explain Bante's teachings and give people an idea of what the FWBO is about. So the first 2 to come off the press will be Buddhism for the West and Mind Reactive and Creative.
I think the most striking thing about the response is forward is the word that comes to mind. The French are a bit on the edge of their seats. Their questions are they're very direct, and it brings out something in me as well. It brings out very straightforward forward answers as well. How they respond to Bante's teaching, I don't know yet, only there just seems to be a lot of interest.
Well, the response that we've had so far has been very positive. I've really enjoyed teaching Dharma in Paris. The French tend to be quite intellectual and they ask a lot of questions, which is very good and keeps us on our toes. But their response has been predominantly very positive, and we already have a few regulars who wait for our next visit.
The more I think about coming to Paris, the more I begin to do it, the more I want to do it. It feels like there is nothing in the way. I can find no parts of me that want to do anything else. No important part of me anyway. That's all I want to do.